Welcome to the Divine Platform. This is yours truly. All I do, all I do on this channel is for the edification of the Most High and for the restoration of His kingdom, the kingdom of God. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We must reach as many people as we possibly can. Okay, I'll be talking about people. Who is who? I'll be exposing the masquerades of the devil and bringing the Bible to life in real time, okay? So it is estimated that of every 8 people walking around on this earth, there's only one bona fide organic being, as nature and the Most High God intended them to be. So for every 8 people on earth, only one is genuine, authentic, legit. So think about that statistic. We are surrounded by entities that are an abomination to our Father, entities with altered DNA that are polluting our Father's kingdom. They are an abomination. So in essence, Earth is overpopulated with creatures that have taken on the human guise. Some of these creatures are created and taught that they are legitimate. So you have these creatures claiming that your inheritance is theirs and they're fighting unto death to keep it. This is why we have the war machine. The war is for the inheritance of the land, which is the trust. For them, it is an existential threat, and that is why we have the military-industrial complex constantly running, okay? These creatures look and act human, but they're not. They take on the human form so as to blend in with people, but they are not human. And many of children, or the children of God, lack the discernment to know the difference, who is who, okay? So this is the subject of this presentation, to show the many guises or disguises that they take on. This is actually a warning for our people, the children of God. And this is going to be, I think, a 2-part series. Yeah, it's going to be a 2-part series. So these creatures who have taken on the human guise have a plan to take over Earth. But just like their last agenda failed, this one is going to fail also, because we, the saints, will not allow it to happen. Right now, the anointed ones are praying and issuing edicts and decrees against these demons. And these decrees and edicts are working, and they know it. And like I said before, they're facing an existential threat. But don't let that deter you. Don't underestimate your power, okay? And what is also happening is that we have the new light codes coming in, and this will not allow them to survive, okay? They can't stand the light. End of human race. Shock claim suggests alien-human hybrids will take over mankind. That is the plan, but it will not happen. So this video is one of the anchor videos. There's 5 of them. All is truth, people, this one which I'm doing, witchcraft, African diaspora or just diaspora, and hierarchy of knowledge. It is my hope that they serve as a reference point, and I would suggest that you watch all of them, okay? Now let's get into the meat of this. Matthew 13:25 says, "But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way." The enemy, the tares, these are the creatures that the children of God have to be careful not to fraternize or cavort with. Especially do not have intimate relationships with them, do not sire offspring with them, simply do not exchange any bodily fluids or energy. Do not. Many of us do not know who these creatures are. We cannot tell the difference, so we are doing all those things. And that's why I said this video is a warning. After you watch it, you should be very careful whom you interact with, okay? The earth is overpopulated with these creatures, and I will do a whole separate presentation on population and overpopulation. The earth needs to be cleansed of this abomination. Yes, it needs to be voided completely, vacuumed. We don't know, or many of us cannot differentiate between these creatures because of the way they present. They present as angels. And it says in 2 Corinthians 11:14, even Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. And many people fall for this false light. Okay, so I am going to now show you how the many guises these creatures take on. And before I go on, I have these two clips side by side. These were taken 30 days apart. This one was taken first and this was taken 30 days apart. But as you can see here, they've taken out a lot of the information. So these aliens, demons, gods, robots, Satan, and shapeshifters. Not robots, but all the others that I just read are classified as extraterrestrials. They're all lumped into that one large group. So if you do not know that there's all these other guises, then you would just think there's only this few that they have here. But lucky enough, I was able to get this. I don't even know how I did this. This is just a spirit, you know. But so what forms do these creatures take? Aliens, angels, demons, gods, monsters, robots, Satan, or shapeshifters. They all take on a human disguise or guise. And this is a concept in fantasy, folklore, mythology, religion, literary tradition, iconography, and science fiction, whereby non-human beings, such as these that I just read, are disguised to seem human. Stories have depicted the deception as a means used to blend in. They want to blend in with people, okay? And science has used the dichotomy to raise the questions about what it means to be human. So they start generating this doubt. And if you're not founded in truth, the biblical truth, you will believe what dichotomy they raise, or these questions. You start equivocating and wavering in your belief. That's what science does to you, right? So just know that they take on all these forms, and I will discuss using this as the topics of discussion. So what's an extraterrestrial? Let's define that. That's what's originating, existing, or occurring outside the Earth or in its atmosphere. It's a being from another world. That's quite simple and clear, okay? What does the wiki say? Extraterrestrial refers to any object or being beyond the planet Earth. It is derived from the Latin word extra and terrestres, that's relating to the Earth. It may be abbreviated as ET. Remember all those movies, ET? So it's already out here, this information. We just need to be able to piece it up all together. So extraterrestrial life is life that occurs outside of the Earth and that probably did not originate from Earth. It did not originate from Earth. And the intelligence is hypothetical intelligent extraterrestrial life. That's just a lot of mumbo jumbo there. So when you say ET, what are you saying? It. ET. It. This is the witchcraft with the language, by the way. So you're saying these are words, but what are you calling? What are you creating? So this reptilian conspiracy theory, is it? No, it's no longer thought of as a conspiracy, because we know that even some of the classes of these creatures themselves know who they are. They're kind of self-identifying now. They're coming into being. And especially as the Earth turns back into position, it is getting harder and harder for them to hold on into their guise or their disguise. The light codes coming in just won't let them have that guise on. It's going. And like I said, they're owning who they are. So we have here this person asking, does my son have reptilian DNA? I have always believed that reptilian people are actually demons. My great-grandmother is of Celtic and pagan descent and said she was born with 2 bonny lamps in her head. She always called them horns. They're owning who they are. Are we listening, or are we dismissing the facts that are right in front of our eyes, based on this dichotomy created here by the scientists? These people are talking to us and we need to be listening. And these people are spoken of in the Bible in Matthew 12:34, when it says, "O generation of vipers, how can you, being evil, speak good things? For out of the abundance of the heart and mouth speaketh." So they're vipers. Okay? Look at that. So people who have certain features like this, more than 1 row of teeth. Some people have 2, others have 3 rows of teeth. People have tails. People have horns and extra appendages. These features are characteristic of reptilian altered DNA, okay? Nephilim bloodline, the fallen angels bloodline. And it makes me wonder whether people are kind of cajoled into giving birth in the hospitals for a particular reason. And this reason is that so that they can catch these anomalies and make sure that they do not see the light of day. So it is possible that many more people are being born with these characteristics, but it's taken care of, if you know what I mean. I'm trying to talk carefully so that this stuff is not taken down. So many people born with these characteristics just don't make it out to the light of the day because they're taken care of, if you know what I'm saying. Anyway, Jude 1:4 says, "For there are certain men crept in unawares, who are before of old ordained to this condemnation, ungodly men, turning the grace of our God into lasciviousness, and denying the only Lord God and our Lord Jesus Christ." So this scripture is clear, and I love it because it warns us and guides us. Here again it says who these people are and what they do. They crept in unawares. Your creepy crawlers, people creep you out. Honor your instincts. These literal feelings and statements must be honored. Before of old ordained to this condemnation. It's been happening for a long time. It's not new. Lasciviousness, sexual immorality, fornication, the alphabet soup. This is how the merging of the seed mostly occurs, through copulation. Of course, now they're just corrupting the DNA. That is a lascivious act. So whether you do it in person or in the lab, that is lasciviousness. Denying the only Lord God. There's only one Lord God, one. Okay? These are the people who started worshiping the angels. The angels came with the message from God, and some people started worshiping these angels. These are the Nimrods, the Akhenatans. And I will talk about those people in a different presentations. Okay, these are the alien nations. They're alien from God. They were alienated from God. Okay? But we, the children of God, took the message that the angel had, but still kept on worshiping the true supreme creator of the universe. So really be careful of those who deny Christ or other concepts in the Bible. They might have that DNA in them already, and they don't know that. We So what happens is that we have been so down engineered that we are unable to decipher or discern who is who and what is what anymore. I am talking about, of course, engineering, mostly through medicine and science. We are even fecundating with the abomination, and we believe that because we can procreate with them, that they are like us. Okay? Let us not let the color of the skin fool us either. Because I personally believe that this mixing and mingling began with those who look exactly like us. So it was impossible for many to tell the difference. Because, I mean, if you knew if they looked that different, you would never mix with them. You know, right now, as I speak, some of you or your relatives are married to one of these abominations and might have side offspring, you know. We have a saying in Luya, you know, I speak Luya, and that's what I use a lot to decipher, especially the etymological deciphering. I use the Luya language. And the saying goes something like, Oparo mundu no mundu nehalishalio mundu ta. And this, though it's hard to translate, it basically means that you think this human being is man, or they're real, but they're not. They're not man and they're not real. So this has been going on for a long time, that it's actually as wise sayings in our vernaculars. Okay? Wise sayings are meant to warn people. So that tells me that it's been going on for a long time, from before of old ordained. Okay? So in discussing this topic of who is who, really what is what, and about entities that can have and have taken on a human guise, I have organized the presentation in the following order: the demigods, the aliens, the angels, demons, monsters, robots, Satan, and shapeshifters. It could be organized in any other order, but I chose to do it the Wikipedia way, like I showed you, and you'll see why later. Some people normally differentiate them as Dracos, you know, which are still reptilians, as avians, which are Dracos, insectilians, which are really Dracos. And then you have the Aryans, you have clones, which are clones. Aryans are clones. And then you have the synthetics, which are clones, and the robotics come in. But I'll do it the Wikipedia way. Just remember that no matter the classification, they are attempting to assume the human form so as to deceive the children of God, so as to disinherit the children of God. Let us look at the demigods first. So the mountains of Lebanon were once shaded by thick cedar forests, and the tree is a symbol of the country. After centuries of persistent deforestation, the extent of these forests has been markedly reduced. See, I'm reading all this to explain, you know, what follows. It was once said that a battle occurred between the demigods and the humans over the beautiful and divine forest of cedar trees near southern Mesopotamia. This forest, once protected by the Sumerian god Enlil, was completely bared of its trees when humans entered its grounds 47,000 years ago, after winning the battle against the guardians of the forest, the demigods. The story also tells that Gilgamesh used cedar wood to build his city. Okay. So this should already clue in humans and demigods. The battle occurred between the demigods and the humans. So there's already these entities, different entities fighting. But I just want to show that demigods exist, and we have the good and the bad. And sometimes I'm wondering, is this when the divine seed is first corrupted? The mixing of the deity and the mortal? Because we are gods. So when does the corruption occur? Is it possible that these entities still exist and are mixed among us? Guys, I've been so unwell, like I'm even having a hard time talking properly. Excuse me for that. They look like us. They act like us. A demigod or demigoddess is a part human and part divine offspring of a deity and a human, or a human or non-human creature that is accorded divine status after death, or someone who has attained the divine spark that is spiritual enlightenment. An immortal demigod often has tutelary status and a religious cult following, while a mortal demigod is one who has fallen or died but is popular as a legendary hero in various polytheistic religions. Figuratively, it is used to describe a person whose talents or abilities are so superlative that they appear to approach being divine. But just remember, before it attains a figurative age, it has literal usage first. So many of your stars are those demigods, like the evil demigods, those who you worship in Hollywood and admire so much. A theomachy is a battle among gods in Greek mythology. Okay, I won't go through all that, but I'm just showing all these screens to show you that these creatures do exist. And I have all the links here. If you wish, you may look all that up later. Demigods are sometimes referred to as gods. So sometimes, you have to be careful what god you're worshiping. There's but only one god. But these demigods, the fallen angels, take on these guys, and not a human guys, but a divine guys. So they assume that status, and if you're not discerning enough, you will fall for that. What's a demigod? A mythological being with more power than a mortal but less than a god. A person so outstanding so as to approach the divine. And what are the synonyms? Angel, demon, devil, spirit, supernatural, deity, divinity, god. Celebrity, celeb, figure, icon, your icons, your celebrities. A megastar, they have all these shows, the superstar, the megastar. Someone notable, your politicians or your research scientists, they're all playing a role. Don't fall for them, okay? These personalities are all playing a role. Your VIPs, your favorite hero, your idol, your American Idol, your barons, Baron Trump. And I said that because I'll be doing a whole show on that. A magnet, the big kahuna. So it's even in the language who these creatures are. Some people get confused by these demigods and actually worship them. Much like those who started worshiping the angels who had the message from God, the messengers, instead of just getting the message and still worshiping God. James 2:19 says, "Thou believest that there is one God, thou doest well. The devils also believe and tremble." So we know there is one God. They know. It even says there is one God. So they're playing a game with you, if you believe otherwise, because even they know that there is one God. So why the heck would you be worshiping anything other than the only true supreme creator of the universe? They tremble. They believe and tremble. Come on now. Next up, let's look at aliens. Aliens, also known as the Greys, there's different kinds of aliens. Grey aliens are extraterrestrial and incompatible with humans, let alone the divine beings. They are demonic and they're among us. Please pay close attention to the pictures especially the eyes, and compare it with some entities you have seen walking and living among us. These aliens were specifically created for a time such as the one we are in now, and I have so much more information that I'll be posting on my website divineplatform.org once we are up and running. These creatures are now strategically trying to take over the earth, but like I said, they will not succeed because the sun will fry the ashes. The folly is that we are able to procreate with them, and we therefore believe that they're real. They are not. Stop fecundating with these demons, please. Stop it. And we have been so down engineered that our seeds can now actually form a zygote, and which develops into an embryo. We don't get it. We have to stop. An alien is an extraterrestrial coming from another world. They're not from here. Here are some of them meeting with your presidents. There are different types, like I said. People believe that they're the ones who are running the world right now. And normally people have this: I am a conservative, I am a liberal, I'm this party, I belong to that party, I gotta go vote. There's only one fool running the whole system. So when you are participating, whom are you voting for? You're endorsing this fool. So it doesn't matter whether you're voting liberal or conservative, you're endorsing this fool. Okay, he's playing both sides. The devil has no loyalty. So if no one is forcing you to participate in their shenanigans, then you are voluntarily, tacitly endorsing, and you're responsible. There's consequences. Let us think before we participate in these activities. We cannot be ignorantly participating and then complaining later when our behinds get handed back to us on a plate, right? We need to be careful. They look normal, don't they? And I think these politicians are under pressure from these creatures to make them to reveal them. They want to, they keep on warning about this, the alien, the great reveal, or the aliens are coming. No, they're already here in a guise. But what's happening, like I keep on saying, the earth is shifting, the sun's light is changing, and they won't be able to hold form anymore. So they want to condition the people to accept them when they start being revealed, when they start walking around looking these demons walking around. They want people to be okay with that. So when this man says, Bernie Sanders says he'll reveal the truth about aliens if elected, he's pandering to this so that they can do something to make sure that he gets elected. Okay? They're getting pressure from their bosses to reveal them to the world. That's the great alien invention they're planning. It's almost like, let's say you're dating someone and they start pressurizing you to introduce them to your family. That's what the kind of pressure they're getting here. Okay? They could have started life on Earth. How do you understand this statement? See, we read, but we don't understand. When it says they started life on Earth, they didn't create us, but they became living beings on Earth, these creatures. Okay? And I remember, okay, let me read here. New research due to appear in the Astrophysical Journal letters shows life may have spread through space like an infectious virus. This is under this title. Aliens could have started life on Earth. And this jab we're going through, where did it start? Are you making the connection now? Who are the aliens? Are we waiting for an invasion when it has already happened? Are we in the midst of one? Huh? Aliens exist, and they are secretly in touch with Israel and America, claims ex-Israeli space chief, says Donald Trump knows about it. We're the only people who don't know about it. Even your scientists agree that they do exist. These are aliens. These are supposedly those people who take care of you when you're in a very compromised state. What are you doing in these facilities, man? Do you know who's standing over your body when you're in that compromised state? We must find alternative means to meet our needs. We don't know what guise these creatures are in. Okay? They blend in. They look like us. Okay? Next, we're going to look at angels. In various theistic religious traditions, an angel is a supernatural spiritual being who serves God. Abrahamic religions often depict angels as benevolent, celestial intermediaries between God and humanity. Other roles include protectors and guides for humans and servants of God. Okay. Angels in art, I'm going to skip down to the last paragraph. Angels in art are usually shaped like humans of extraordinary beauty. They are often identified in Christian work with bird wings, halos, and divine light. So they're good and bad angels. They're good angels and bad angels. What is confusing to many is that the bad has infiltrated and corrupted the good, and if one is not discerning enough, the bad passes off as good. So bad angels are very seductive and cunning, very charismatic, but they're of Satan, the devil. Okay, they were cast from heaven. They have the ability to take on the human form. They're especially difficult to resist or even discern. I mean, boy, have the charm of heaven. You know, they're masters at seduction. And then bait and switch. Okay, their intent is to ruin and destroy you and win accolades for the kingdom of Satan. And I know what I'm saying sounds so simplistic, but it really is that simple and straightforward if we have eyes to see. 2 Peter 2:4 says, "For if God spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell and delivered them into the chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment." But we know that the hell broke loose, and that's just not a saying. I keep on saying, an apocalyptic attack on earth. And hell broke loose, and they are on earth here, terrorizing God's children. Angels have taken on the human guise so as to deceive God's children and to disinherit them. And that will not happen. Okay. Next up is demons. A demon is a malevolent supernatural entity. Historically, belief in demons or stories about demons occurs in religion, occultism, literature, fiction, mythology, and folklore, as well as in media such as comics, video games, movies, anime, and television series. I won't read the whole thing. Okay. No, wait. I'll go back. No, I won't. Sorry about that. So this can take on the human form as well. And look at what is a demon. It's an evil spirit. Words related to demon: incubus, nightmare, succubus, familiar spirit, leprechaun. I particularly highlight this because these are familiar with us, and I will talk about them later. Okay, so this take on human form, the children of Satan, they're usually powerful and ruthless. Their power attracts many who fall for their wraths. They're usually powerful, so they attract many. People are attracted to powerful people. They can also be devilishly charismatic. Many of these creatures are leaders of countries. And actually, I believe that as we come to the end of time, Satan is trying to have demons installed in every nation as the leader to bid his works. So any elections that are happening or have been happening, demons are being installed into power. Then non-demonic leaders are being moved out of power and killed. That was the case, I believe, with the late Magufuli of Tanzania. So what they're doing is that they're clearing house and are replacing with demons. The demon-controlled system, fully controlled. That's their goal, yeah? Because they want to install lawlessness. So in fact, I expect some sort of political upheaval as they try to put demons into power everywhere. And the people are jostling for power, so we'll get people being in power for only a few months or days, and then they are replaced because they also want to test a piece of that pie. Again, incubus, succubus, familiar spirit are all demons. Okay. What does Jude say about lasciviousness? They creep in. Incubus and succubus are particularly known to be sex demons, and they creep in at night when you're unaware. People talk, when you have all these stupid sex dreams, that's demonic, straight up. Familiar spirits, people consult familiar spirits. These witches you go to, these wizards, these warlocks, they're demons. And God warns us about those. What does he say? And when they shall say unto you, seek unto them that have familiar spirits, and unto wizards that peep, and that matter, should not a people seek unto their God for the living to the dead? Familiar spirits. So people who have familiar spirits have demons. Okay? When you consult these witches and wizards and necromancers, you are tacitly endorsing the legitimacy of these demons in this particular guise, and you're giving them the go ahead. Okay? Leviticus 26 says, and the soul that turneth after such as have familiar spirits and after wizards to go a-whoring after them, I will even set my face against that soul and will cut him off from among his people. You are guaranteed to be disinherited from the kingdom of God if you endorse these demons. It's so clear what it says in Leviticus 26. Okay? Period. Full stop. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is another definition of demons, and synonym in this particular definition of a demon is affliction, hang-up, terror, torment. So demons are a source of persistent emotional distress. Do you have emotional issues? Do you know someone who has? Are they therefore afflicted? Is their DNA corrupted? If you are afflicted, you have a demon. If you're terrorized, it's because of a demon. If you're tormented, it's because of a demon. My question is, are terrorists demons? I'm just wondering, when America declares war on terror, are they declaring war on demons? We must start looking at America differently. And I could go off, just explaining what this really means. but I don't want to, I want to stay on track. But if you have questions about this, please just leave them in the comment section and I will respond. A devil is synonymous with a demon. The devil is the supreme spirit of evil. And makes me wonder, you know, sometimes people talk and they use words like handsome devil. Like I said, they're handsome, they're charismatic, and you will fall for them. People say things like blue-eyed devil. What are they talking about? You need to listen when people speak, okay? People say hell is empty. These are not just statements, they are reality. These people are here. Incubus and succubus. And I suppose these are some of the greater demons. The incubus, which is the male, and succubus, which is the female. They are extremely human-like and commonly possess illusion magics to fool and seduce their prey. These demons occasionally feed on the life force of humans, which they have seduced and engaged in sexual relations with in order to increase their own lifespan, which can reach thousands of years. I hope you all have an open mind to what I'm saying. This is reality, but it's been categorized as fiction, so we don't relate it to what's happening to us in everyday life. In some accounts, the incubus and succubus are two separate demons. The incubus impregnates women with its demon semen, while the succubus impregnates itself using a man with its deviled egg. Deviled egg. In others, the incubus and succubus are the same shape-shifting demon, which needs to collect semen as a succubus first before it transforms into an incubus to impregnate a woman. These demons use sexual intercourse as a means to directly possess the body of their victims. This is generally done while the victim is sleeping. People, this is reality. It's not just mythology. They go by other names like genes, genie in a bottle. You can rub me the right way. I don't know that song by that girl. I don't. Those are demons. So genie in my language we have ligini or litimoni. So it's a genie or a demon. But Sila is another name. And Sila is a demon that appears in the shape of a woman, seducing men into dancing, marrying, and fathering their half-genie young. Okay? Man, due to the widespread prevalence of these myths, many anthropologists and psychologists believe them to be supernatural explanations for sleep paralysis and hypnagogic and hypnopompic hallucinations. These are your scientists, your psychologists and anthropologists even agree that they cause sleep paralysis. Unwanted pregnancies, incest, and nocturnal emissions, intentional or not, could be blamed on incubi or succubi. The sleep paralysis and sexual encounters bear some resemblance to what is sometimes passed off today as alien abduction. Purported victims of such abductions regularly report being frozen in bed, and sexual reproduction with aliens or probing is also a common thread. Oh man, you know why I'm spending more time on this? It's because it is real, it happens often, and it's the most common way that they get into our lives and families. It says, the underlying psychological experience is likely to have been very similar but explained away by whatever was most culturally relevant at the time. In older times, demons, and in more modern times, extraterrestrials, ET. So you know what happens? They have this, they condition your children. So you watch this ET movie, you watch it, especially for the children. And then when you have encounters of this demonic kind, they say, oh, that was just an ET. But you grew up watching ET from when you're 3 to 18, so it doesn't seem odd to you, you know? And if you saw that first, one of the first slides where they just classified everything as an ET, that's why they're doing that. I want to talk about this Sila here. In pre-Islamic Arab countries, there was said to be one man who fell in love with a Silat and had children who were known as Banu Sila. It was rumored that the Arab population was conceived from descendants of Amr ibn Yarbu's children who were half Sila. Their mother was said to have left her family behind after seeing lightning in the sky, interpreting this as a sign to return to her clan. According to Iraqi historian Mahmoud Shukri al-Alusi, Arabs refer to Silats as women who are said to be slim, witty, powerful, and accused of being unloyal seductresses. First of all, this word Sila is where you get Silat, slut, you know? That's where you get your slut from. But I put this particular screen here for you guys to see, and then a few screens I mentioned about terrorism and terror, and I'm just wondering whether it's different demons jostling for power. I don't know, maybe you guys can research that. Okay, these are the synonyms for demon. The devil, supreme personification of evil, often represented as the ruler of hell. Synonyms are Lucifer, Satan, serpent, and a serpent is a parasite. A serpent is a parasite, is a pirate. And if you watched the Christopher Columbus video I did, I talk about the parasites. Okay. And when I go back doing the code words, I will deal with this particular word, the serpent, the pirate, the parasite. That's one entity. Okay. So the next few screens, I will show what the Bible says about these entities. Okay, John 8:44, you are of your father the devil, and the lusts of your father you will do. So again, we saw lasciviousness. They crept in unawares, they are lascivious. We saw incubus and succubus. Okay, he was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth. They're liars, because there's no truth in him. He is not of the light, he cannot have truth. I keep on saying all is truth. There can only be truth. Everything else is evil. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. And read these verses given the backdrop of what, when you read this given the backdrop of what I'm just presenting, you will see what's going on. Okay, so even these people who are trying to tempt Jesus were a product of a real woman and a serpent. Luke 13:16 says, and ought not this woman, being a daughter of Abraham, whom Satan hath bound these 18 years, be loosed from this bond on the Sabbath day? This scripture shows you the guises they take and that they cause affliction, and we saw that demon and affliction are synonymous. They bind people for years on end. I mean, it's pitiful. You have met people who have struggled for 20 years. They do everything right, but they just can't get ahead. They can't make it. They don't heal from their malady. They keep on falling sick, you know? Or they keep on falling for the same trick. They keep on dating this kind of woman and they end up in the same place. That is a demonic possession. That is an affliction. I am not making this up. It's in the Bible, like you're saying, and it's very clear and straightforward. Revelation 12:9 says, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. These abominations are right here with us, tormenting children of God day and night. We must stay our eyes trained on the Lord and live very pure, holy, pure lives, because they cannot stand the light. They cannot stand the truth. That is our only way out. And if you're possessed already, you need an exorcism, literally. That's what you need. Because these entities are quite powerful. You need Christ. You need the light of Christ. Isaiah 14:12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weakest the nations? Still on demons. This is Pazuzu, the Assyrian demon Pazuzu. I think he was king. Yes. And you know what's interesting, that the current education system around the world is Persians. And I'm just wondering whether it originated with this, that infiltration and corruption originated with this Assyrian demon king, because now the Persians took over the Assyrians. So obviously they took over those systems. Okay. What is this? So if I can play this. Ancient demons and the infernal legacy. So this is actually a small clip that lists the demons. And I'll go slow so that you can read it. And I have the link here. The horns, the tails, so this is a lazy demon in the form of a young girl. So that's the form they take. This one moves like a wheel. He teaches wizards logic and philosophy. This is the demon patron of builders in exchange for their souls. Yeah. Go to this website, okay, and learn. There's a lot of information out there. Okay. So they have horns like those images we just saw, and tails. Okay. So these mutations, one of the definitions of devil is actually mutation, and I'll show you that. So mutations are of the devil. Okay, now let's talk about monsters. Isaiah 27:1 says, "In that day the Lord with his saw and great and a strong sword shall punish Leviathan, the piercing serpent, even Leviathan, that crooked serpent, and he shall slay the dragon that is in the sea." Again, you gotta watch all my other videos. I'm sorry. Because I'm kind of building up to something, and I'm always consistent to show you what's happening and what's going on, because I mentioned about the sea monster, and in the code words Karen, I mentioned the kraken, which is a sea monster, which is a serpent, which is the leviathan. Okay, what are monsters? That's the dragon. An animal of strange or terrifying shape. I know people eat this, that looks strange and terrifying to me. An animal or plant of abnormal form of structure, one that deviates from normal or acceptable behavior, a threatening force. Those are all definitions of monster. Monster, words related to monsters: demon, devil, incubus, abomination, mutant, mutations. So all these words are in the same class. So when I say mutations are of the devil, they're in the same class. Okay? And the monsters in the thesaurus. So if you notice, we are circling back to the same entities no matter what guise they take on. Okay? So more synonyms of monster. I just want to note two here: pharaonic and prodigious. Pharaonic, pharaoh. And look at this class of words: leviathan, pharaoh, mammoth, titanic, monstrous. Who are these pharaohs? Especially starting with Akhenaten. Like I said, I will talk about that on this channel sometime. Everywhere, these creatures are everywhere. The monster drink, monster bash, monster truck, monster that jobs board. Who's running all these events and companies? And we have top mythical sea creatures to read about. Let's see. And again, I have the link here, if you can take your time and go through that. I'm just gonna go through it fast. Vodinoi. It was Tlutlu, now Vodinoi. That's the marine kingdom. Cetus, the evil marine kingdom, by the way. Dagon, Amabik. And these things are in your kids' cartoons. The Kraken, I did that. Finfolk. My parents used to tell us about these creatures. Skylar, and that's a common name, Skylar. Oh, Skylar. Oh, she's a siren. That girl is a siren. What are they talking about? Yomugandr, I don't know what that is. first time to hear about it or see it. Okay. Next up, we will look at robots. Robots are probably the most blatant form of synthetic life form. They're constructed to evoke a human form. They range from humanoids to medical operating robots. And when one agrees to have surgery performed by a robot, they have tacitly acquiesced to and legitimized this deviation from God. Besides, the machine can only replace man. That is the goal. Like you saw in the second screen, where they are predicting that aliens will take over mankind. This is the battle of the man and the machine. Let's not give up our rights, okay? We must find alternative means to achieve what we need. Participating in the system legitimizes it and gives it the energy it needs to drive forward. We provide the attention that gives them the energy to forge forward. These robots lack emotions, and we interact with such entities every day, you know. If you're real and woke, you should be able to pick up on these abominations. And I think robots are the easiest of the abominations to pick up on than the others. So a robot is a machine, especially one programmable by a computer, capable of carrying out a complex series of actions automatically. A robot can be guided by an external control device, MK Ultra Mind Control, or the control may be embedded within MK Ultra Mind Control. Robots may be constructed to evoke human form, but most robots are task-performing machines designed with an emphasis on stack functionality rather than expressive aesthetics. Robots can be autonomous or semi-autonomous and range from humanoids to industrial robots, medical operating robots, patient assist robots, dog therapy robots, collectively programmed swarm robots, UAV drones, and by mimicking a lifelike appearance, a robot may convey a sense of intelligence or thought of its own. Autonomous things are expected to proliferate in the future, with home robotics and the autonomous car as some of the main drivers. So this is a warning to you, really. Buyer beware. Okay? A robot, one of the definitions is a person who resembles a machine in seeming to function automatically or in lacking normal feelings or emotions. We must be clear and discerning about what we see and what we hear and what we interact with. If there's anything you get from my videos, may it be the ability to see what is going on around you. May you be able to perceive what is happening. For this, I really do pray. Okay? And the latest iteration of these robots are able to procreate. So look at how deceptive this is. Okay? These have existed since time immemorial, ancient world. Okay? Many ancient mythologies and most modern religions include artificial people, okay, such as mechanical servants built by the Greek god Hephaestus, Vulcan to the Romans. So Vulcan is a mechanical servant, the clay golems of Jewish legend and clay giants of Norse legends. Who are these giants? And Galatea, the mythical statue of Pygmalion that came to life. Since circa 400 BC, myths of Crete include Talos, a man of bronze who guarded the island from pirates. That's from Wikipedia, part of this, so if you read the rest, you'll see that. Like I said, these biosynthetics are able to fully pregnant get pregnant and impregnate. They're walking among us. Some of you are married to them. Do you see what's happening? Do you see what's going on? Jeremiah 5:21 says, hear now this, O foolish people, and without understanding, which have eyes and see not, which have ears and hear not. Matthew 13:14 says, and in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Esaias, which saith, by hearing ye shall hear and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see and shall not perceive. It is my prayer again that whatever you read or hear or see, you will be able to perceive and see what is actually happening. Otherwise, it's all for naught. Okay? Whatever you see or hear, I hope you'll be able to perceive. Otherwise, it's all for naught. This brings us to the end of part 1, in which I talked about aliens, angels, demons, demigods, monsters, robots, all these guys to seem human. Part 2, we'll look at Satan and shapeshifters, and I will briefly mention the Antichrist in part 2, but we'll expound on it later. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Comments, questions are always welcome. Thank you very much, and see you in the next. And by the way, guys, I'm not feeling well, and that's why my presentation is all choppy like that. Okay, thank you very much for tuning in. Thanks. Bye.